Shalom. That time it didn't catch me off guard. This is going to be a short one, folks, but a good one. The array. I propose that what in science is described, or well, not described, discussed as a field is in fact an array. What kind of array? An electromagnetic array. All arrays are electromagnetic arrays. So just bear with me while I show you what I'm about to show you. Yeah, I'll show you this way. Thank you very much, Renatus. Renatus passed me this. Just think of the word array whilst you watch. Now, the scientific explanation says, oh, there's nothing strange about that. Clouds often light up. It's called luminescence. Ew. Okay. That's fine. That's no problem with clouds lighting up. How about you discuss the shape? You know, the array. So, maybe it's not really an array. It's just a thing. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, dagnabbit. Let me do it again. There. So, that looks a lot more array-ish, doesn't it? Let's look. Oops, come on. This cloud, look at that array. It is an array. The moisture is collecting in an array that you would otherwise not see if the moisture was not there. Why is it collecting on this particular day, in this particular location? That's a good question. It's anybody's guess. But that that's an array is, well, just kind of obvious. Okay, now, people might say, oh, silly, no, you're seeing things where there aren't any things to be seen. Well, no, I'm seeing what's there. Then people might say, this is just, turbulence causes this. Yeah, sure. That's why we see it all the time, right? Even though we do have turbulence all the time. Oh, well, no. This is not really an array. This is just moisture doing strange things. If you take chaos and the nature of moisture and clouds, then sometimes these kinds of things are going to happen. Okay. These will be the retorts from the skeptic. Okay. So that's all to do with moisture, not any type of array, right? What about this? I'm going to play this and I'm just going to, let it play. What you're seeing on your screen is Venus. I have slowed the video down and we're going to watch Venus filmed by a P900, what's it? Yeah, P900 by a professional photographer who knows all about actually zooming in and focusing. This is why it's not one of those watery looking things like so many other flat earthers have just, told the camera, just zoom in on that light in the sky and see what it looks like. So let's have a look at this array, which is not moisture. From now on, I want you all to call me Loretta. But why do you want to be Loretta, Stan? I want to have babies. You want to have babies? Don't you oppress me. I'm not oppressing you. Oh, the genius of Monty Python. The prophetic genius. From now on, I want you all to call me Loretta. But why do you want to be Loretta, Stan? I want to have babies. You want to have babies? Don't you oppress me. I'm not oppressing you, Stan. You haven't got a womb. Oh, hey, no, I forgot a part. You want to have babies? It's every man's right to have babies if he wants them. Anyway, enjoy seeing the array on the screen. Now you might ask, why is it flicking around so much? It's because it's really highly zoomed in and it's being filmed from a plane. So not only would the actual plane's motion make the image shift in the field of view, but also that she was on a plane. That is light on an array. That's a portion of an array. In this case, the array that presents Venus, presenting Venus with aspects that have not been seen before. They've not been captured before. They've not been shown before, other than by the person who filmed this. Now, isn't it reminiscent of another array that we're more familiar with the Sun, which presents parhelia and sundogs? Isn't that peculiar? We were talking earlier about the Sun. Now we're looking at the array. The array that presents the Sun is a different array to the one that presents Venus, to the one that presents those tendrils rising up from the cloud. It's all arrays. They're all electromagnetic arrays. And when science talks about the field, a disturbance in the field, they're talking about an array. There's no vacuum to this array. There's no possibility of having a complete vacuum, a complete lack of array. Even if you took the most complex, the most robust, formidable Faraday cage, even then, the material of which the Faraday cage is made has its own Schumann resonance, which means its own electromagnetic array. Excuse me. So, even if they managed to make some kind of opposite capacitor where all of the energy was expelled outwards by magic, even then they wouldn't be able to achieve a complete arrayless vacuum. So now look at these clouds and see whether or not they are on an array. There are also, by the way, some amazing shots of rainbows taken from altitude. And I don't just mean circular rainbows, I mean like rainbows that look like they're fanned, like cards, like playing cards. When a magician fans the cards, rainbows that look staggered like that, multitude of rainbows. Why is that? Because the array is breaking down the energies that are actually disturbing the array, increasing. And this has a deep significance on us Earthlings. This is one of the reasons that, wait a second. This is one of the reasons, oh wait, before I go, I'm going to show you the video I was showing you earlier, because it's only fair. It's by The Ham. Go and watch it and give it a thumbs up. Okay, now, here, right. You must have all heard by now that Prince Bill Gates is proposing to dim the sun. Apparently Switzerland has said, no you don't, like they could stop him. But no, apparently there was the announcement that he was going to dim the sun, like immediately, and then it didn't really happen because Switzerland objected. It really? But the news is out there about dimming the sun. Okay. What would this dimming be? We all know it's been going on for a long time. It's chemtrails. But why is the news out there that Prince Bill Gates is going to dim the sun? So that when the sun actually dims out of the blue, either going red first or just simply dimming really markedly, like an eclipse but not quite opaque, people can say, oh, it must be Bill Gates with his sun dimming. That's why. If you don't think the guys who run this place, I don't mean the guys that really run the place, because there's only one that actually runs the place, and that's not even a human being. But the guys who control things on this plane, if you don't think those guys are working steps ahead of the rest, then go and look at Phil Schneider and see what he was discussing. Now, before I go, I'm going to just propose a little thought experiment, a little idea. Picture that somebody is there just ambling along somewhere, and a UFO comes, and lovely tall blonde beings come out and say, hey, we want to take you in our UFO for a trip. And the person says, oh gosh, my fish and chips will go cold. They say, don't worry, we'll keep them warm for you. So they take her in, and she puts the fish and chips in a special keep fish and chip warm compartment, and they fly off. And she says to them, good golly, this is fascinating. And they say, we know, we're going to take you to our home planet. And she says, what is your home planet? And they say, it's Nurse. But you see how the mouth didn't go with the sound? Like, they said a name, but the sound that came out was Venus. Why is that? Because the aliens can talk telepathically. And they said to each other, should we tell her where we come from? And they said, yeah, okay. And they said, we come from, I don't know, Lanulos. But they're being monitored. by remote control or by telepathy. And as they were saying Lanulos, their supervisor took over the mic and said, "Say Venus." So they say Venus. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, but it could be. Who knows? Anyway, the stuff about the array is right, or at least true. Good night all.